What do people wrongly expect counselling to give them, and why does that expectation often derail the process? Most people enter counselling with a silent contract. They may not say out loud, but internally they're expecting something specific to happen. They expect counselling to make things feel better. That expectation does make sense. If something hurts, relief feels like the obvious goal. But this is where many people misunderstand what counselling actually offers. Counselling does not begin by reducing distress. It begins by increasing contact with what has been avoided. What are you avoiding? The distinction matters. When people expect relief first, they often interpret the early stages of counselling as failure. They feel more emotional, more aware, more unsettled, and they assume something has gone wrong. What's actually happening is exposure. Not exposure in a clinical sense, but exposure to internal experience that has been managed, muted, or kept busy for a long time. Another common expectation is that counselling should be efficient. People expect progress to be visible and linear. Each session should move something forward. Each week should feel clearer than the last. But counselling does not work like a problem-solving task. You're not fixing a single issue. You're changing how you relate to your inner world. That process is uneven by nature. Some sessions feel useful, some feel quiet. Some feel frustrating or vague. These sessions are not wasted. They often indicate that something deeper has been approached but not yet articulated. A third expectation is that the therapist will provide answers. No. People want explanations for why they feel the way they do, why they react, why they repeat patterns, why they struggle when others seem fine. Counselling is not primarily about explanation. It's about increasing tolerance. Tolerance for emotions, tolerance for uncertainty, and tolerance for parts of yourself that don't fit a neat story. Insight may emerge over time, but insight is not the mechanism of change. Capacity is. Another expectation that causes quiet disappointment is the idea of transformation. People imagine counselling will make them more confident, calmer, or emotionally controlled. In reality, counselling rarely changes your personality. What it does change is your relationship to your experiences. You may still feel anxious, but you recognize it sooner. You may still feel low, but you no longer panic about it. You may still struggle, but the struggle takes up less space internally. That shift can feel underwhelming if you're expecting a dramatic outcome. But it is often the most durable form of change. A more helpful expectation is this. Counselling helps you notice what you're doing internally, earlier, and with less judgment. This is the work of therapy. Not feeling better instantly, not having everything make sense, but developing a steadier relationship with what arises. If counselling feels slower or less confident than expected, that doesn't mean it isn't working. It may mean you're engaging with it realistically for the first time. And this is usually where meaningful progress begins. That's the scope of this episode. Each episode focuses on one specific element, and this was it. We'll leave it there for now and move on in the next episode.